I was going in that direction next because we see all these crazy, way too early top 25s.
Mhm.
And Florida State doesn't need 25 spots. They're in the top 5 range for most of these people. Now, everybody's looking for the next big splash, the next big thing, and they want to be ahead of the curve. So it sounds like you're thinking that's pretty legit and not just a bunch of media folks wanting to be the first one to say, "Hey, I called it."
I think it was more of a prove it year. But when you really go back and you take a step back and you look at trends, you got a top 15 defense. Most of your guys are returning. You lost your all ACC safety, Jamie Robinson, but you had preseason all ACC and Akeem Dent. You got some corners that probably didn't live up to the expectations, but that happens. But you got some guys coming in or some young guys stepping up. And you got a defensive line that we were just talking about, 2 linebackers that everybody's taking notice of. So you expect your defense to get better and improve from a top 15 perspective. You've got top 15 offense that fell asleep until after the three game skid and then woke up and literally played lights out. If you look at how Florida State's offense has played since the Clemson game, it is incredible the numbers that they have put up. You can't help but expect Jordan Travis, who's coming back another year, one of the probably scariest dual threat quarterbacks returning next year. Johnny Wilson, who I don't know if did he get over 1,000? I think he got just over 1,000 yards. Trey Benson, over 1,000 yards. No, Trey Benson was 30 yards short of 1,000, but close to 1,000. So you got a close to 1,000-yard running back, 1,000-yard receiver, 3,000-yard quarterback. And you add a Jaheim Bell, who at one point was considered one of the best tight ends in the nation before, sometimes I think people just overthink it. Like, bottom line is you get a guy like that the ball. You got Murlock, who's 6'7", 250, 260 pounds, big body tight end that you're able to put in there. You're looking at the offensive packages that you can put together against teams, and it creates matchup problems. So you have a defense that can stop people and an offense that can put pressure on another offense to have to score, to keep up with the scores. That bodes to a lot of games that you can win. What they have to do is, and this is the hard part. Again, this is where Kirby and Saban are really, really good. And I'll even give the weirdo Dabo his props too, for the most part, when they were doing their run. To keep guys humble and focused on the overall goal. I've been in a situation where you have a huge group of guys who are getting ready to get to the draft. I called it like this: like, if you like Texas Hold'em, when you get to the final table, they put the money on the table.
Sure.
They put the money on the table, one, for effect, but the guys who are Zoom focused aren't paying attention to that. They're paying attention to the cards and they're reading their opponents. The guys who aren't used to being there, they're looking at the money and they can taste it. They'll get satisfied for getting out at the 8th place because you'll get a little bit of money. That's more money than you ever won before. Probably 10 times your buy-in. But the guys, the Phil Hellmuths, those guys who are there, they're literally there to win the millions. You got to get everybody that's there willing to win the millions and to play their hand to the best of their ability. It's hard to do that when you know it's right there. And when these guys coming in, they're getting NIL deals. It's getting fun. They're able to taste a little bit of success, live a little bit of success. They got to make sure to keep the main thing the main thing. Girls is liking you now. You smell better. You look, the ugly guy. When you're winning, even the ugly guys get girls. That's when you know your program's right. When your ugly ass teammate has a fine girl and you're trying to figure out how the hell did he pull that thing, that's because you're winning. And those things tend to derail progress if you don't know how to handle it. That's why they need veterans and old guys. And I like Mike Norvell always telling the old guys to come back so we can tell them, like, hey, keep winning and that'll always be there. But like, you start losing, they're going to remind you how ugly you are again.